or what do we do with our preschoolers, remotely or even in person at this point. I have Carrie joining us, who is
Hi.
a very long time kindergarten teacher. Carrie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Carrie. I teach in a suburb of Dallas, Texas. I have been teaching kindergarten for 19 years, teaching for a total of 27 years, but most of that in kinder. Um, it's just been an experience this past year. This past year is nothing like I've ever done before. But I absolutely love teaching kindergarten. It's like my passion to make, school exciting and fun for these kids. This year, it's been hard.
And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, my name is Sam Hall. I am the content and product marketing manager, but I was a 5-year virtual school teacher, 6 through 12 social studies. So I do feel your pain if you're remote. And I was in brick and mortar before that. So I do feel your pain, but Carrie really feels your pain.
I really, truly feel all of you guys. I know exactly how exhausted you are because I am right there with you.
Oh yeah. And teachers, drop in the chat, how are you? How'd you go back? How's it going? Are you stressed out? Like I
All stressed
know,
out. We're
I
all stressed
know
out.
you're all stressed out, and I know it's a rough year. And Carrie, we were talking before. You ended the year last year really smoothly because your students knew what to expect. They had you for a couple months. What are the
They
challenges this year that are different?
So this year we started virtual. I have never in my life started virtual kindergarten before. It was quite an eye-opening experience. We spent a lot of the first 2 days learning how to mute and unmute on Zoom. Literally, that is all we did. I created some like visuals and we practiced like what does the microphone mean? What does the mute sign look like? When you're looking at the computer, you need to be sitting still. So a lot of the beginning was just a lot of rules of how to be on. We use Zoom. I would Zoom 3 times a day with my kids and do a quick little mini lesson and then send them off to do their work on some other kind of learning platform and stuff like that. And then I would always have like office hours for the parents to contact me for tech support, and all these other. I probably have given more tech support and learned more about apps and all these things than I've ever wanted to know in my life. So we did it for 6 weeks, and yesterday was our first day of in-person learning. Families still have the option to pick if they want to be in person or still being like a remote learner. So out of my 15 students that I have this year, I have 4 that are in person and 11 that are still remote. So starting tomorrow, I get to teach both at the same time.
And
I thought now
we were
I
talking
can't even,
before this, and we're like, how can you do that? It's for those
I seriously, I still have not wrapped my head around anything. I think I'm going to do my Zoom and like display it on, like, stream it or project it onto my screen. I can't even talk. And then my kids in the classroom are just going to watch the screen as I sit at my desk and teach a little mini lesson. Like I don't know how else to do it. If I put everybody on Zoom at the same time, we'd probably like crash all of our like bandwidth and internet speed and all that. So
in the classroom for sure.
in the classroom, it's been rough, and trying to keep them socially distanced in kinder is just like non-existent. It just does not happen as much as I try. We have specific stickers for like their tables. I got to keep my tables because there's not enough desks in our school, so we have tables. And normally I have like 6 at a table, but right now I just have 2. And then I have like a little plexiglass divider that's in the middle, so that kind of separates them also. But like on the carpet, they sit wherever they want. I still have my carpet. Like I show pictures of my classroom, and they're like, "How do you still have a carpet in your room?" I'm like, "I don't know. I still have a rug."
Before we got on, I was asking Carrie, I was like, so how are you trying to keep them socially distanced even though they're not wanting to? How are
I
you? And
don't.
she's like, there are stickers everywhere.
There are stickers in the hallway of which way we have to walk. And when we line up, we have to stand on a sticker so that you're kind of like 6 feet apart. But then as our line goes down the hall, everyone's smushed together. So there is no more social distancing. My kids only have to wear masks like in common areas, like they ride the bus, if we're in the hallway. when we go to the cafeteria. So they wear it when we go into the cafeteria and get lunch. And then as soon as they sit down, I have to give them the signal to take off their masks.
I have
So,
a
I mean,
teacher. There's a teacher in chat. She says she has 20 in her classroom.
wow.
Whew.
I mean, I think I would rather have 20 in my classroom right now than four. I think teaching four kids at one time is really hard.
We were talking
Because
about
they
this.
all want my attention. It's like, I don't have enough tricks right now to entertain them all. They're like, here's my favorite question. When's rest time? When's lunchtime? And when we're going home? I get asked that about 15 times a day. And
You know what? Make a
I
poster.
forget how beginning year kindergartners know nothing. They say it's like childbirth. Like you block it out because you don't want to remember it. That's what I do with the beginning of kinder.
Yeah.
I
And
block, like I
the
don't,
year makes it worth it, right?
you know, but in a month they are going to be completely different students. They're going to be like whizzes. And then in my district, parents can change their options every 6 weeks. So who knows what I'll have the next time around? I mean, I could get more kids in person. I could get more kids staying home. I don't know. Oh my! I see in the chat. She's like, it's 20 in kinder. There is no social distancing. We did an activity on the carpet today. I started off everybody in a spot, and then I give them time to explore. And by the time they explore, they were literally on top of me. And I was like, oh, friends, hi. Let's see your cute tower.
And teachers, I want to know, like we were talking before this, like, are you guys going outside? And Carrie's going to tell us about her
So
situation.
my school backs up to a public park. And we are told this year we are not, we've always used it every other year, but this year we can't because it's public and we can't control who comes to the park or not. So we don't go outside for recess. The only thing we can do is maybe like take a walk around the school and that's it. But it's really hard to take my kids outside and be like, see that park over there? Yeah, we can't go over there and play.
Yeah.
Like, they
And
just don't get it.
teachers in the comments, what are you doing what is your state? I mean, in my state, you can take kids go outside, but Carrie, I was talking about how, we had our teachers like spray painted activities onto the concrete to do. Like,
Great idea.
it's
I'm going to
not
bring
about,
that up to my team tomorrow.
yeah, like, can we do this? Even if it's just sidewalk chalk, like you were saying, like,
Or even just having like, just take, I don't, well, not bubbles because that would be, but just something to get them outside because even for like our music and our art, those specials teachers, they come to our classroom. The only time they really leave the classroom is when they go to the cafeteria to eat or if we have gym class that day because our specials is on a rotation schedule. So they don't have PE every day. When we do have PE, they wear their masks down to the gym and then they get to take their masks off. But they only get it like 3 times every 6 days. So not a lot.
and Heather, I like that Heather mentioned how we have fields thrown around old fashioned childhood games. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we need. And I wish, like, I love the park that we're backed up to because normally it's a fantastic playground for these kids to play around. But just this not this, and we don't have a lot of grassy area, so
Right.
it's hard, and it's only been 2 days.
Right. But Carrie, you do have a good solution, which is tell us a little bit about your kits, the kits that you sent home.
So obviously for kinder, hands-on manipulatives are probably the biggest tool that I've ever used in my classroom. And I wanted to figure out a way this year that my kids, no matter where they were learning, were going to get the materials that they needed. So I created a list for a student kit, and it has capital letters, lowercase letters, like magnetic letters, math cubes, math links, all kinds of whatever materials they would probably need. We put them in like big plastic bags and the kids at home have the kits and the kids in my classroom have the kits. So everyone has their own set of material. So I don't have to worry about sharing. I don't have to worry about disinfecting. I can still carry on my centers like I normally would because everybody has letter manipulatives. So when we do like we have something like an alphabet arc. It's like in the shape of a rainbow. So the kids can still take out their letters and match. Like I don't have to worry about that. So it has been a fantastic solution for me. And then I also created like a digital one for some of the kids that didn't get the materials because there was, of course, a delay when you order things and stuff. So we did a lot of virtual manipulatives with those kids too.
That's
So it's
awesome.
helped a lot. So whenever I do my lesson, I'm like, all right, everybody, I tell them ahead of time, you need to go get your 20 cubes and get ready and then turn on Zoom. And then there they all are.
That's
And it's
awesome.
about the playing and, don't play with it. Don't shove it up to the camera. Don't feed it to your dog. And if they lose these things, I don't want to know what's going to happen. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet.
Go to it. And Nicole, yeah, high school. You guys are probably in all day, but how are you guys handling the social distancing? Especially because we all know in high schools right now it's game on.
It's got
Almost.
to be crazy.
It,
Yeah. And
oh,
like when my kids go to the cafeteria, there's the stickers for them to sit at. And so like normally, like cafeterias, you have two sides. We only have one side up. It's like rows of tables, and everybody faces that way. And then everybody sits socially distanced, and then we do that for like arrival and dismissal too for the same thing.
same thing. Wow. Yeah, that is
It's hard.
wild.
It
Yeah.
is wild.
Is there
And I
any
just
activities that work really well with remote kids, especially because you did remote for the first 6 weeks? Is there any activities that are working well for kindergarten for you?
I just use a lot of the manipulatives that I've sent home because that way I know kids like to they have
Okay.
to, they're tactile learners. They need to be touching these things and stuff like that. We've been doing a lot of videos like from YouTube and stuff like that, and learning a lot of Jack Hartman. He's like one of our favorites that we like in kindergarten. So we do a lot of activities like that. And then with our reading series that we have, they have a great online component. So I can assign them, like we do a letter of the day and like the video and stuff like that. And so we work on making words and stuff like that. It's just a lot with the manipulatives that I have sent home for them. I can't even get it out. When I'm tired, it's a lot. It's a big word.
It is a reward.
Yeah. So really, those student kits have been a huge helpful tool for us to use.
That's awesome. And guys, if you don't already, Carrie, go ahead and let them know your Instagram
I
handle.
am Adventures in Kinder on Instagram. I do have a Facebook page. It's called Adventures in Kinder and Beyond. That's my official name. I also have a website also too.
There we go. And guys, if you have any questions, we do monitor the chat, good 24 hours afterwards. So, drop in. We want to hear what you're going through because the best time to vent is with other teachers. I mean, feel free to vent. It's okay. We know
We
you
all
guys,
know how rough this is.
and hopefully, you got some great ideas out of this. Carrie's like loaded with great kindergarten ideas because it's so tough. It's so tough.
It is hard. And like I just focus on one day at a time. Like let me just get through this one day. Let me figure out the 3-4 things that I want to do. Yesterday we got through 2 things. So today we got through 4. Today was a much better day. It was a much better day. So every day it does get a little bit easier and a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. And just great advice. Sometimes, I mean, the easiest advice, the easiest is the
Yeah,
best to follow.
literally take it one day at a time. That's it.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We had quite a bit of comments. We love that. And we will talk to you guys soon. Talk to you tomorrow.